Nothing appears or continues to appear in being by a power of its own. Events happen because comparatively stable imaginal activities created them, and they continue in being only as long as they receive such support. When man solves the mystery of imagination, he will have discovered the secret of causation, and that is, imagination creates reality. Therefore, the man who is aware of what he is imagining and knows what he is creating, realizes more and more that the drama of life is imaginal, not physical. An awakened imagination works with a purpose. It creates and conserves the desirable, and transforms or destroys the undesirable. Divine imagination and human imagination are not two powers at all, but rather one. Acting at high tension, an imaginal act is an immediate objective fact. No object is independent of imagining on some level or levels. Everything in the world owes its character to imagination on one of its various levels. Objects seem so independent of our perception of them that we are inclined to forget that they owe their origin to the imagination. The world in which we live is a world of imagination, and man, through his imaginal activities, creates the realities and the circumstances of life. This he does either knowingly or unknowingly. Men pay too little attention to this priceless gift, the human imagination, and a gift is practically non-existent unless there is a conscious possession of it and a readiness to use it. All men possess the power to create reality, but this power sleeps as though dead, when not consciously exercised. Men live in the very heart of creation, the human imagination, yet are no wiser for what takes place therein. The future will not be fundamentally different from the imaginal activities of man. Therefore, the individual who can summon at will whatever imaginal activity he pleases and to whom the visions of his imagination are as real as the forms of nature, is the master of his fate. The future is the imaginal activity of man in its creative march. Imagining is the creative power not only of the poet, the artist, the actor, and the orator but of the scientist, the inventor, the merchant, and the artisan. Imagining novel solutions to ever more complex problems is far nobler than running from problems. Life is the continual solution to a continuously synthetic problem. Imagining creates events. The world, created out of men's imagining, comprises unnumbered warring beliefs. Therefore, there can never be a perfectly stable or static state. Today's events are bound to disturb yesterday's established order. Imaginative men and women invariably unsettle a pre-existing peace of mind. Do not bow before the dictate of facts and accept life based on the world without. Assert the supremacy of your imaginal acts over facts and put all things in subjection to them. Hold fast to your ideal in your imagination. Nothing can take it from you but your failure to persist in imagining the ideal is realized. Imagine only such states that are of value or promise well. To attempt to change circumstances before you change your imaginal activity is to struggle against the very nature of things. There can be no outer change until there is first an imaginal change. Everything you do, unaccompanied by an imaginal change, is but a futile readjustment of surfaces. Imagining the wish fulfilled brings about a union with that state, and during that union, you behave in keeping with your imaginal change. This shows you that an imaginal change will result in a change of behavior. However, your ordinary imaginal alterations as you pass from one state to another are not transformations because each of them is so rapidly succeeded by another in the reverse direction. But whenever one state grows so stable as to become your constant mood, your habitual attitude, then that habitual state defines your character and is a true transformation.